Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty, and welcome back to the Great League Remix Cup. In the spirit of throwbacks, I am going to feature the team that I first started my YouTube channel with Shadow Empoleon, Leftorando, and Shadow Gligar in the back, and this team is amazing in the Great League Remix Cup meta, but it was last season that I filmed that video, so let's see if in this current iteration of the Great League Remix, this team can still cook. If you guys do like today's video or are entertained by it, please feel free to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But with that being said, I won't keep you guys too much longer. Let's get into these matches. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, and Shadow Empoleon is going to lead into Pelipper. Couldn't imagine a much better lead than this. They are going to stay in, which is telegraphing to me that they may very well be weak to Empoleon in the back. One of the best Pokemon in the format is core breaking a team right off the jump. This could potentially be a Hurricane, but I have no respect for this Pelipper. I'm going to No Shield. It's a Weather Ball, and Empoleon will be able to tank 2 moves probably for the first time in its entire life. They bring in their own Empoleon. I'm just sending my Hydro Cannon onto the Empoleon, gets them nearly to 50%, and I'm bringing in Leftorando. They thought they were going to go for the CMP with my Frenzy Plant, but this is a Leftorando, and we get the debuff. Leftorando no longer has to shield the Drill Peck not going to do enough damage to threaten a shield from me, and I know that, so I am going to no shield. They are going to bring in a Steelix, and I'm going to fire off a Leftorando after 4. Now, they did get a free Dragon Tail there, insinuating that they did get 1 turn bring in. They're going to bring in the Pelipper, and honestly, I don't have to shield this. Leftorando has done its job, and I'm going to bring in Gligar to get an energy head start onto the Steelix, and they are going to fire off a move here. I am basically trying to find every single way that I can toss this game, shielding the first Psychic Fangs, bringing in the Empoleon, not getting the catch, and now as I bring back in Gligar, they are going to be able to fire off the Psychic Fangs. I am going to no-shield this one as my debuff has been reset. I'm full sending the dig. Are they going to respect it? Absolutely not. Get blasted, Steelix. GG's. One of the best things about running Leftorando in this limited meta is that nobody ever expects it, so you're going to see me get a little bit of energy with my Empoleon, then bring in Leftorando and force them to switch out, as they may think I have that very weird flying move, but I do not. I'm going to fire off Leftorando onto the wall rain. They're going to give up a shield, and they're going to get the -2 debuff, and I'm putting up a shield. I do not want to no-shield an Icicle Spirit. Still would do a lot of damage at -2 from a Shadow Wall Rain. I'm going to fire off another Leftorando. They're going to no-shield it this time, but they are now -4, and I can disrespect everything that this Wall Rain has ever done in its life, including that Icicle Spear. I get the farm down, and next, they're going to bring in Carbink. I've telegraphed that my moveset is Leftorando on Frenzy Plant, but they still opt to bring in the Carbink, and Carbink is going to take a massive amount of damage. Honestly, I could have just started frenzying to try to pull shields, but you have one move when you run Leftorando. Anyway, they're going to bring in the Victory Bell, and I anticipate that, so I switch in my Gligar because I didn't think that they would want to keep the Carbink around if I had an Empoleon on it. So they are going to bring in the Carbink. I have the Hydro Cannon loaded, and this is a CMP tie, so Carbink is going to fire off their move, but I threw my energy as well, so they're going to go for the Copium farm down, but I'm 1 away from the dig, and Gligar is going to easily be able to clean up this game. GG's to this trainer. Honestly, I left this game in because it's a pretty good showing of the fact that sometimes you are just going to be RPS'd, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. You can't really get too upset about it. Honestly, in a limited meta, sometimes you're going to pick 3 Pokemon, and somebody in your ELO bracket's going to pick 3 opposite Pokemon that completely destroy yours. So let's just watch me getting absolutely blasted for a few minutes here as they're going to bring a Mantine into my Leftorando. I was able to get the debuff, but I am still going to commit the shield. Aerial Ace is going to get my shield, and I'm going to fire off a Leftorando on the CMP tie. Oftentimes, Leftorando will win CMP over the Mantine, but that's not going to be enough to pick up the knockout, so they are going to fire off an Aerial Ace, and I'm going to go for the farm down here. Am I going to be able to get it? No, I am not. This is terrible for me. Not being able to realign means that inevitably there's going to be a Magnezone on my Empoleon, so I am going to come in Gligar, and whoa, and farm down the Mantine. They are going to bring back in the Magnezone, so feeling like whatever they have in back may not particularly like Gligar. I feel like I may be cooking in this game. However, the Volt Switch is tearing through my poor little Shadow Gligar. They are going to Mirror Shot, but these Mirror Shots are going to add up, and I'm going to call another Mirror Shot, but that doesn't put me in the best position because they have a Poliwrath in back, and I cannot beat Poliwrath from the position that I'm in. So unfortunately, the only way I win here is if I get a full farm down and Poliwrath never makes a move, but that's just never going to happen in a million years. So Poliwrath is going to get me low enough to the point where this Magnezone is going to be able to Mirror Shot BM me to death. I was clicking on the Drill Peck anyways. GG's. Now I couldn't ask for much of a better lead than this as well. Shadow Empoleon into the Shadow Gligar. This is so comfortable for Empoleon as we can easily build up to 7. Fire off the Hydro Cannon, and they are always going to commit a shield here. Oftentimes Gligars will go for baiting shenanigans. I call it as a potential dig here, but I get baited, but that's fine because they won't outpace, and they switch in a Frostlass. What are they doing? Frostlass gonna get blasted by the Hydro Cannon and farm down. That Frostlass had less screen time than 1010 in the latter half of Naruto Shippuden. Nevertheless, they are going to bring in Poliwrath, but I have a Drill Peck loaded for them, and Drill Peck onto the Poliwrath will get a shield as they are Shadow. They do not want to no shield that. I'm going to bring in my Gligar, and honestly, I'm just trying to get a little bit fancy here, trying to catch the Icy Wind. I did not need to do that, to be honest. This game was over already. I am going to bring in Leftorando and fire off Leftorando, and onto this Shadow Poliwrath. It does not land because they caught onto their Gligar. I didn't even see that. I've watched this video back multiple times and still couldn't see that, but they top left. GG's. I clicked the record button too late once again, and they are going to have Mantine onto the Empoleon. We didn't miss out on much, but nevertheless, we are going to fire off the Drill Peck as they're going to reach another move here. I wasn't expecting them to Aerial Ace straight away, but they're just going straight Aerial Ace. This is a new way of playing this out. I mean, they get, I guess, maximum damage off on the Empoleon here, but it just isn't a very good idea, as I'm going to build up to 5 and fire off the Hydro Cannon, anticipating a switch, and they bring in a Quagsire, trying to catch the Drill Peck, but all they catch is Empoleon's hands. They're so low right now. Leftorando absolutely manhandling the Quagsire. Quagsire is going to get farmed down, not even bringing Leftorando down to 50% HP, and the Mantine is quite low, but they are very close to a move. They're going to bring in Gligar, but this trainer must not know that Leftorando can handle Gligar very comfortably. They're going to fire off a move here, and they got -2. Do you know what that means? This Aerial Ace is not going to KO, and I'm firing off the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant onto the Gligar. They call it, and they get farmed down by my Gligar. They're going to top left. GG's. Alright, this is our penultimate game, and it is going to be a fun one, as they are going to lead Mantine into Empoleon, and they are staying in, which is once again telegraphing that they are core broken by one of the best Pokemon in the meta. Please get your teams together. Empoleon cannot be core breaking you this easily. They are going to stay in with the Mantine and fire off energy, so I'm going to no shield. I know that I can live anything from the Mantine, no matter what it is that they throw, and they are going to fire off their Aerial Ace immediately, but that just means that a second Drill Peck will pick up the KO on CMP. They're going to bring in Quagsire, but that's fine. I'm just going to build up and commit to the Hydro Cannon. They are going to fire off a move. It is going to be the Aqua Tail, but in comes Leftorando, Quagsire's worst nightmare, and I have the perfect response. I'm going to fire off the Leftorando just in case I'm able to pick up that sweet juicy debuff, but I'm able to get the shield instead, and they are going to top left when they see the Gligar. GG's. Let's get serious in this final game of the video. It is going to be Empoleon into the Shadow Magnezone. You're going to see me throw one Steel Wing and Safe Switch into Leftorando, as Leftorando can pretty deceptively do well into Shadow Magnezone. However, they are not going to stick around. They're going to throw their energy immediately, which to me does telegraph that they are going to fire off the Wild Charge. So I am going to bring in Leftorando. They are going to counter switch with a Hypno, so they must have an Elemental Punch that can hit me for super effective damage. Nevertheless, we're going to fire off a second Leftorando, and we are going to get the debuff that time. If this is an Elemental Punch, I will comfortably live it, and it is an Elemental Punch. I was playing into a potential CMP tie, but Frenzy Plant onto the Hypno is going to pick up the KO because people think that when I run Leftorando, all I do is click one button. They are going to fire off a move here. This is enough energy for the Mirror Shot and nothing else. but that's more than enough to KO my very low HP Leftorando. I'm going to bring in my Gligar and commit to the dig, and we are just both not throwing any energy at one another, and on 9, you're going to see me throw an Aerial Ace, and the bait is successful. I am going to be able to no shield here. I don't have to shield, and in comes a Tropius. This is bad. I have to bank 2 moves. If I do not bank 2 moves, I am going to lose this game. Tropius is at the move here. Empoleon getting shredded by Razor Leaf fast move pressure, but we make the back-to-back moves. Tropic onto the Tropius. Will it KO? It's a very thick boy. Yes, it does. And Magnezone does not have a move, so Hydro Cannon will easily pick up the KO. GG's to this trainer. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. I'd actually strongly recommend this team to anybody that does have the pieces to build it. It's super fun and actually super good in the Great League Remix meta, no lie. All things considered though, I did end the day on a 5-0 win streak, and I actually got over the 2,500 mark. Once again, I've been teetering on the edge of veteran all season, but this is a really solid team that I honestly feel like if I put some more days into it, I can easily get some more elo. And no, that isn't copium. I got to legend with this team last season. I know what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Nevertheless, this has been Shmeaty. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.